Welcome back to part 2 of Tips and Markups. That's going to be chapter 2, lesson 3. Now it's going to be your opportunity to pause the recording and find out what the final selling price of these speakers are going to be after a 60.6% markup. Do it. Let me know what you come up with. Did you get it done? Let's see what I come up with. Now we're going to start off with the proportion. So we know that X is going to represent our markup. The original price, the wholesale price, was $62.25, and we're going to set that equal to the percent over 100, with the percent being 60.6%. Now, I don't really like the ratio reasoning for this one, because what would you really multiply 100 by to get to 62.25? I think it's going to be 0.6225, but you know, that leaves a big old ugly decimal number, and I just don't want to go there. So instead, I'm going to use the other method, where I'm going to use the properties of operations. I'm going to leave the first half of it alone. 62.25 is equal to, and oops, I don't need that line there anymore. All we have to do is go boop, boop, bounce our decimal 2 spaces to the right, 0.606. And now we have changed this number into a decimal value. From here, we're going to take, and I'm just going to come up on this next row here to continue my work, multiply both sides by the 62.25. So I have X divided by 62.25 times 62.25. Notice I'm putting it on the top, is equal to 0.606 times 62.25. These divide out becoming 1. 1 times X is X. And when we grab our handy dandy pocket Satan here, we're going to find, let's move it out of the way, that 0.606 times 62.25 is going to give us, rounded to the nearest penny, $37.73. So we have a 37.73 markup. Actually, it's not 73, it's going to be 72. My bad. Rounded to the nearest penny, that's going to become a 72. So $37.72 markup. That's one of our answers here. But that's not what we need, because we don't need markup. We need the final selling price. To get the final selling price, we're going to take our $62.25 that they have marked on the purchase or the wholesale cost, add to that the $37.72. We're going to get a 7, a 9, a 9, and a 9. So the final cost, $99.97. We'll go back to our web page, drag it, drop it, check it, and we are the winners. Now we're going to get into some really good challenging stuff here. Ben's family is shopping for a new car. The wholesale price for the car is $24,199.50. Ben researches to find that the wholesale cost is going to be $22,100. And what we want to learn is, what is the percent of increase? Think about that. Percent of increase. That would be the percent markup is the percent increase. Percent change. Did we just learn something about that in a lesson or two ago? I think last lesson, I think it was 2-2. So you might need to jump back there and review that if you don't remember. Let's dive in and see how it works. Now the textbook tells us here, finding the percent of markup is the same thing as finding the percent of increase. Let's go ahead and highlight that. I don't want you to write it down, but that's an important thing to keep in mind and remember. That means that in doing this, we need to identify the part and the whole, just like we did last time we were dealing with percent of increase. So I'm going to hit my next button. The original amount was $22,100. The new amount, what they're selling the car for, is $24,199.50. The amount of increase, also known as the amount of change, is going to be $2,099.50. That's the first step. Now we're going to have to set up a ratio comparing the part to the whole to find the percent of increase. Now they just threw a whole bunch of stuff down here. Don't panic. We're going to work our way through this together. All right? Slow down. Hold on. All right, let's start into it. Don't panic, guys. This stuff's easy. All right? First thing we have is the formula. The formula says we're going to compare a part to the whole. The part, that's going to be the percent change. The whole is going to be the wholesale price, the original price before markup. When you grab your handy dandy pocket Satan there and you divide 2099.5 and you divide that by 22100, you end up getting 0.095, and that is where that value came from. 0.095, to change that to something over 100, all you do is take your decimal and go ba-doop, ba-doop, 2 spaces to the right, and now that gives you 9.5 over 100. And we know that anytime we compare a number to something over 100, our answer is going to be 9.5%. Easy math. Anybody can do this. Let's go back over here, put our 9.5 in, check it, and it checks well. So you can say that the markup is going to be 9.5% of the original price that the dealership paid for the car. Now they have a really good think about it question here. They said, how is finding the percent of markup different than finding the price of selling price of an item? Well, in the percent markup, you're having to take and find the amount of change and go backwards to find the percent. In finding the selling price, they give you the percent, and then you have to take and use that to find the amount of change and add it to your original amount. Once again, it is your turn. Pause the recording, find the percent markup, check your answers. I'm curious to see if you can get this right. Alright, I went ahead and got started on this. I said that the new amount, that's what they're selling the bike for, is $379.50. The original amount, also known as a wholesale cost, was $230, and when I subtracted those, I got the amount of change, also known as $149.50. From here, we're going to set up our formula. Our formula is, of course, nothing more than part compared to the whole. The part is going to be the $149.50. The whole is the original amount, $230, no cents. And when you divide that out, you're going to end up getting your percent change. So let's take and grab our handy dandy calculator here. We're going to take 149.50 divided by 230, and that's going to give us the decimal value of 0.65. Of course, that could be read as 65 hundredths, or 65 over 100, and of course 65 over 100, that is nothing more than 65%. So on that particular bike, there's a 65% markup that the seller puts on their wholesale cost prior to selling the bike. From there, we could take and check our box, jump back over to the actual problem page. I said jump to the problem page, check it, and we are right again. Now you know what is left, the one that everybody loves and looks forward to. We have an apply problem coming. Now remember, on these apply problems, the first thing you're supposed to do is read the problem 3 different times. Describe the context of the problem in your own words. What mathematics do you see in the problem, and what are you wondering about? After that, you ask yourself, how can you approach the task? That's where you should be writing out in words what your plan is. From there, you're going to solve the problem, check your answers, and finally, the last thing, write a solid argument defending on what you did. So, pause your video, come up with a plan on how to solve this problem. The apply problems aren't supposed to be easy, guys. They're supposed to make you think. So good luck. Alright guys, this problem has got layers upon layers of evil in it. The first thing we need to do is figure out what the total cost of the food is. We know that it was Carrie and her 3 friends went out for dinner. So that's 4 people. They split a large pizza, so the total cost of the pizza is $18.60. And it also said each person, right here, each person had a salad and a soda. So that means I have to multiply both of those by 4. So the total cost of salads is going to be $10. The total cost of the sodas is going to be $9. And when we add those up, we get the total cost of the food. 0, 6, 7, 3. So the total cost of the food is going to be $37.60. We're going to circle that. It's important. We're also going to box off that part of the problem, keeping our work neat and organized, separated from everything else. Now, they want to leave a tip of 15% on the cost of the food. Let's go ahead and change our color here so we can keep our different works a little more separated. 15% on the cost of the food. Not on the tax, just on the cost of the food. So, our cost of our food was $37.60, so the tip over the 37.6 is going to equal to 15% is 15 over 100. I'm going to use the properties of operations approach for this. T over 37.60 is equal to 0.15. I'm going to isolate my variable by multiplying both sides by 37.60. T divided by 37.60 times 37.60 is equal to 0.15 times 37.60. These divide out becoming 1. 1 times t is t. And when we multiply 0.15 times 37.60, we're going to find that the tax paid is going to be $5.79. Not tax, tip paid, $5.79. And we're going to box off that part of our work, keeping it neat and organized. The next part of our problem is the sales tax. It tells us sales tax is 8 1/4%. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use X to represent my tax over the cost of the food, 37.60, is equal to, the tax is 8 1/4, also known as 8.25%, which is 8.25 over 100. I'm going to take the same approach where I'm going to say X over 37.60 is equal to, and this I'm going to go bloop, bloop, bounce that decimal 2 spaces to the left, and now I have 0.0825. Draw a line so I can keep working neatly on the side here. Isolate my variable, X divided by 37.60 times 37.60 is equal to 0.825 times 37.60. These divide out becoming 1. 1 times X is X. And now we're going to take and go back to our handy dandy calculator and do that math. 0.0825 times 37.6 equals, so the tax is going to be rounded to the nearest cent, $3.10. And we're going to circle that. Now we're going to start adding some stuff up. So we know the cost of the food was $37.60. We know the tip was $5.79, and we know the tax is $3.10. Add all that information up, we get a 9, we get that'd be a 14, that's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, and a 4, a total of $46.49. But we are not done. The final question was, how much will each person pay if they split the bill evenly? Now I'm going to pause and check my math. Hold on.